I quite enjoy playing HoloCure, the free HoloLive fan game featuring Vampire Survivors-based gameplay. It's been a great success for a while now, and in my opinion, it's the best HoloLive fan game you can get, which is even more impressive considering it's a free game. If they charged for it, it would still be considered excellent. A somewhat recent 0.7 update brought even more content to the game. In fact, there's a reason I wanted to talk about this update, because I've seen paid DLC that delivers much less than this free update to this free game. And I think the quality should be celebrated and appreciated, whether you're into HoloLive or not. There's lots of people who don't know anything about VTubers playing this game because it's just really good. There's new characters, skills, and game modes. For me, the new characters are the most exciting bits of this update, along with the abilities and upgrades they come along with. There are 9 new characters. We get Gen 3 and 4. Gen 3 is also known as Fantasy, but for some reason I forgot that Gen 4 was called Holoforce. I guess certain names stick and some don't. Interestingly, both gens have 2 high-profile graduates. Coco makes a welcome appearance, while Rushia is notably absent, but that's not surprising. As with the case before, the new abilities are excellent references. One of the fun things is to see how different all the characters are to play. I won't go over every single character's abilities and attacks, but I'll mention a few things I found noteworthy. I'm not particularly great with characters that have very precise attacks, like with guns and stuff. It feels a bit like threading a needle into a mass of enemies. Flair's attack is a little bit like that, but her gun is a reference to the weapons in Splatoon. So they leave behind ink puddles that do damage, which I think is a cool feature. Similarly, Toa's weapon is a bit too precise for large amounts of enemies, but as you level it up, it shoots way more bullets, so you can kind of spray it around, if that makes sense. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I really like using Watame because her attack is her harp, which is an area attack sort of scenario. So if you combine it with other abilities that deal damage in a similar way, like for example Spider Cooking, BL Book, and that sort of stuff, then you can just run around dealing damage without aiming, and I like that. Another thing I like about Watame is that you can basically overload her with healing abilities, which sounds like it would be a waste, but she has abilities that allow you to both get healed after a certain amount of time, as well as redirect that healing towards enemies, which, quote, saves them. When I was writing the script, I searched up a few things just to, double check on something, and I found out that people are doing Watame no-move builds for Endless Mode, which doesn't surprise me because, yeah, you can have a really powerful character. But yeah, overall, lots of fun to be had just trying out different characters. On top of that, there's new game modes in the Holohouse portion of the game. Now, that's something I admittedly haven't really touched and interacted with much. If you're in the same boat, you don't have to worry though. The new additions you can just play around with those no matter what. The big one here is the casino. There's various things you can do befitting a casino, like blackjack, roulette, and slots. Funnily enough, you can try and cheat in the form of bribing or kicking the table or machine, though you can lose your bet permanently. There's even a racing and cage fight thing, which is interesting, but not really a totally unexpected addition. There's also a math challenge thing. That's probably the easiest way to reliably get coins, unless your math is like ridiculously low level, I suppose. I mean, there is Gura mode, so God help you if you can't even do that one properly. Instead of having like casino chips, they're called USA chips, and they look like little golden carrots. You can challenge other characters to a match of Tsunamaki Junkin if you want to try and win their USA chips. You can exchange USA chips for stuff. Just go up to Peko Mama at the front desk and you can see what sort of stuff there is. A very interesting and amusing inclusion is a Jump King clone. I'm so bad with games that control like that, so there's no hope that I'll ever reach the top. There's a few other additions to the game, like a normal and hard stage. There's, other abilities, obviously, with the new characters. And there's new collabs as well. So there's some new interesting combinations there. There's also been several changes to existing characters and abilities, and I suppose you can chalk those up under balance changes. Just look at the patch notes if you want more info on specifics. But yeah, I thought that was quite a substantial update to a free game, and the fact that it's a standout in terms of the amount of content in its genre is very impressive. There's always lots to complain about in the world of gaming, so it's nice when a developer is passionate about their creation and just wants to make something that's good and also something that many people will enjoy, instead of focusing on stuff like maximizing profits. So that's that. I know some viewers play HoloCure too, so if you want to add anything, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.